I still believe you still will be called one day SRK of the industry.
Arey baap re. Thank you so much, sir. And how did you pick mice as your niche?
So when I was working for in an organization, when I started coming into the industry, there was no word called mice wise.
20 साल के लड़के को माइस समझाना तो आप शुद्ध हिंदी में कैसे समझाओगे?
इस इंडस्ट्री में आई है बिकॉज अब आने वाले 20 साल इसी इंडस्ट्री के हैं.
You're an 100x person. आपको एक को 100 करना आता है. माइंडसेट क्या होना चाहिए कि अगर एक को 100 करना है?
But if I say in 2 words, I think clear vision
Yeah.
and strong sense of purpose. So you have to come up with that jugaad for a customer.
And I have seen you cracking a deal over a breakfast. समोसा खिलाया और क्लाइंट से बॉन्डिंग बनाई. I have seen you doing that magic.
समोसा बहुत बड़ा काम करता है कभी.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Everything went wrong in one day. But one fine day, everything went wrong.
Oh.
That's was my first experience to go into Pakistan. So we took almost 400 people. So there were box of passports.
Yeah.
So what they did, they mixed all the passports,
Oh, of different companies.
all different companies,
Oh.
and they gave it to everybody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Travelpreneur World. This podcast, episode number 2, is very, very special to me. You're going to meet someone whom I have been knowing for the last 22 years. He was my boss and he'll always remain my boss. If you think that I am a bit successful in the travel industry, he has a big role to play. He has laid the foundation in my career and given me chances which nobody could have at such early age of my career. He's someone who mastered the mice, and he's been running successfully a company with easily 100x growth. He is none other than a man himself. Let me introduce Mr. Mohit Khanna, founder and CEO of ICE Tours and Travels. So, hello Mohit sir, welcome to the Travelpreneur World. Good to have you here. It's a long-term plan. Usually you don't come to these kind of podcasts or social events, but thank you so much for coming to Travelpreneur World. How are you doing?
Absolutely wonderful, Rajan. I think it's been pleasure meeting you after some ages. I think it's been a decade I've met together, and I see you growing every day. Means I keep on seeing your podcast, your growth of your organization. It's wonderful to be associated back with you.
Thank you.
And I still believe you still will be called one day SRK of the industry.
Arey baap re. Thank you so much, sir. So just for our viewers, I know your story, how you have come and all. Just for your viewers, if you tell me, how did you enter into this travel industry and how did you choose mice as your niche? Because you're now, I call you as a king of mice because you're always way ahead of others in terms of ideas and all. So tell our viewers that how did you enter into the travel industry and how did you pick mice as your niche?
I think a little interesting story. If you can begin with by saying that how did I enter into the industry was that I was always an art student in the school.
Okay.
And my schooling was done with Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, and I was not a great student in studies. And but one thing was good about me was I was good in geography and history.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think destiny had to do something different for me.
Yeah.
That I started learning languages after schooling, and so I thought, is it the right platform for me to enter into? This is the right industry to be in.
Okay.
Because that time, if you ask me, 1992 or 93, there was no industry as a travel.
Nothing.
And when you enter into the industry, people used to say, "Oh wow, he's a failure. That's why he's entering into the industry, and he doesn't have much to do."
Yeah.
And I would not say failure word, but it's not an industry to be in actually.
Correct.
So our time, people used to say, our parents, become a doctor, become, a pilot, do something different actually.
Yeah.
But what is this? So it was difficult to, convince parents. And we all come from those all school of thoughts where, that we have to convince your parents at that point of time.
Correct.
So what transpired and what made me to come into the industry is that I wanted to have a different life from what my friends and my colleagues were doing.
Correct.
So that's one of the reasons I entered in the industry. And now coming back to your next question, you said about mice. So when I was working for in an organization, when I started coming into the industry, there was no word called mice. I was always the inbound operator.
Correct.
I never had a clue about mice as a, and there was no mice word actually. If you ask me in our time, there used to be always conferences, do events, do inbound, do outbound, but we had no idea about
structure was there.
No, there's no structure about this industry.
Yeah.
So when I joined this, when I was working with somebody, so one of the, my president or the CEO of the company told me, why did you join the conference department? And I said, sir, I'm an inbound guy. So one thing which he tells me, and I would tell, on your show to people is that, if you have a zeal, if you have a passion, and there's no, in conferences you do costing.
Yes.
In inbound do you costing, and outbound do you do costing. And if you know the subject called costing, and if you have that, zeal to do it, then I don't think nobody can stop you doing entering into any industry.
Yeah.
MICE, I was interested because I was clueless about the ticketing. I had no keen, clue about ticketing. I was, and that was
desk job was not something.
Desk job was not meant for me.
Yeah.
So I actually thought, I want to do something different for the market. So I straight away entered into the area where gives me something, not the monotonous job where I come to the desk and do hotel bookings and just. So MICE gave me a different, aspects of life, and I knew that this is larger than life thing. So I started learning about MICE, and so initially I thought, on a lighter note, I thought MICE is a mouse. Means it's more to do with mouse and mice. So I realized it's meeting incentive, events and conferences.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say exhibitions. So there are different words which has come into MICE now. But initially in our time, there was no word called MICE. And I would again say that if at all, God gave me an opportunity, if again I am born in this world, I think I will be born for this industry only. Yeah. I'm pretty emotional about this part of my world.
Yeah.
And I think that's emotion, gives me an edge to, cross those hurdles, those, wherever I want to do something different, God gives me an opportunity to deliver to the customers of mine or to the market.
Okay. So, simple शब्दों में अगर एक 20 साल के लड़के को समझाना है कि माइस क्या है, मतलब टेक्निकली, बिकॉज पीपल हैव परसेप्शन एंड इट्स अ वेरी ग्लॉसी इंडस्ट्री. किसी से भी अगर मैं पूछूं इवेंट में, पीपल फील दैट डूइंग बिग इवेंट्स, ट्रैवलिंग अराउंड द वर्ल्ड. सो 20 साल के लड़के को माइस समझाना, तो आप शुद्ध हिंदी में कैसे समझाओगे?
शुद्ध हिंदी में शुद्ध हिंदी में मैं एक बात समझाना चाहूंगा कि अगर आपके पास काम करने की क्षमता है और अगर आपको आपका दिल कहता है कि मैं इस काम के लिए बना हूं, तो और अगर आपको शौक है, मतलब उड़ान भरने का, आपको अपनी उम्मीदें पूरी करने का, आपको अगर होटलों में स्टे करने की शौक है, और आपको फ्लैम्बॉयंसी वर्ड अच्छा लगता है, और आपको अगर मेहनत करना अच्छा लगता है, क्योंकि एक बात तो कंफर्म है, इस इंडस्ट्री में मेहनत बहुत है. तो आप ये मत सोचिए कि आप दूर से बहुत देखते होंगे, अरे वो लोग तो बिजनेस क्लास जा रहे हैं, अरे वो स्विट्जरलैंड से पिक्चर खींच रहे हैं. बहुत लोग, आजकल के बच्चे बहुत जल्दी इंस्पायर होते हैं इन चीजों से, वो कोट पैंट पहन के बैठे हैं. तो मेरा एक ही रिक्वेस्ट रहेगा सबसे, एक ही मतलब विनती रहेगी आप सबसे कि इस इंडस्ट्री में आइए, बिकॉज अब आने वाले 20 साल इसी इंडस्ट्री के हैं. जो अच्छी बात और बुरी बात कोविड ने हमारे साथ की है, वो ये की है, कोविड ने हमें एक बात सिखा दी है कि पैसा आज खर्च लो, कल रहे ना रहे. वो कहते हैं ना, कहा वो सुना ना आप सबने, कल हो ना हो. तो सच बात है ये, कल हो ना हो तो आज जी लो.
करेक्ट.
इसीलिए आप इस इंडस्ट्री में आइए, मोस्ट वेलकम हो. लेकिन ये सोच के आइएगा कि आपको बहुत वास्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी है. वास्ट मीन्स वास्ट, लेकिन इसमें आपको अडेप्टेबिलिटी होगी. सबसे जरूरी है अपने काम से ईमानदारी रखिएगा. जब तक आप अपने काम से ईमानदारी नहीं रखेंगे, टिल द टाइम यू हैव दैट ऑनेस्टी टू योर वर्क. आई थिंक of course you want to be honest in any work, but this is why I'm saying honest word is because customer wants an honest answer from you.
Correct.
You can make fool of customer once, but you cannot make customer time and again. So I think the strength of us, me or us as a company, is that we are very honest to the customer. And honesty has given us an where we are today. Correct. Why we are today is because we have been honest to our customers, and be honest to them. बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी आपको. आईएएस इंडस्ट्री में, इस इंडस्ट्री का कोई तोड़ नहीं है. मैं फिर बोल रहा हूँ, 20 साल इसी इंडस्ट्री के हैं. आपको बहुत खुल के अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी. आपको, आप जो एरिया में चाहें, यहाँ पर मैं आपको गिनाना शुरू करूंगा तो मेरे ख्याल से पॉडकास्ट खत्म हो जाएगा. लेकिन 20-25 ऐसे एरियाज हैं यहाँ पर जो आप रुक नहीं पाएंगे, एंड यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू होल्ड योरसेल्फ. इफ यू वांट टू वर्क फॉर 20 years, वर्क फॉर 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. आपको 20 साल बाद पता लगेगा, अरे अभी मैं सीख ही रहा हूँ. मैं तो खुद कहता हूँ, आई एम स्टिल अ लर्नर. आई एम स्टिल लर्निंग फ्रॉम लाइफ. आई एम सिटिंग विद यू, आई एम स्टिल लर्निंग समथिंग न्यू फ्रॉम यू. Because I have seen people say and believe that they have learned everything, but I don't think so. Life is a learning space, life is learning.
Yeah.
Till the time, I'm in this world, I'll keep on learning.
Correct. So I have seen you for the last 22 years. We know each other. हमने आपको you've kind of been a foundation on whatever I am today. You're a man of
So nice
scalability.
of you for saying that. Yeah.
No, of course. I mean, people who know me know that whatever the jugadu pun which has come in me is all because of you. Because from a hotel industry to a mice person, you have taught me a lot. And you're a man of scalability.
Thank
You
you so
believe in growth. जब आप हम companies में भी थे, you treat that division also as a company. So how do you plan your growth? Like to my knowledge, people who meet me, I tell you that you're an 100x person. आपको एक को 100 करना आता है. उसके लिए क्या है, मतलब माइंडसेट क्या है? मैं ये तो नहीं बोलूंगा कि आप थोड़ा टेक्निकल टिप्स दें, बट माइंडसेट क्या होना चाहिए कि अगर एक को 100 करना है, क्या माइंडसेट लेके चलना चाहिए?
Rajan, if I say in 2 words, I think clear vision,
Yeah,
and strong sense of purpose. I think that's very important. There are a lot of people who say, and it's been a journey of
Yeah.
lot of hurdles.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster
True.
ride for me.
True.
Life has, and I think every entrepreneur, they go through tough times to build up a business.
Yeah.
And I think hard work, perseverance, resilience, all these are which made me today what I am. And I think jugaad is right actually.
Yeah.
Unless you have jugaad.
Yeah.
Like I go to a lot of events, and we face hurdles, we face, because when you go to any country where the language is an issue, you go to a country where that the guy will go to work for 6 hours or 4 hours. So you have to come up with that jugaad for a customer, because customer needs what he wants, and he's right, because he's that's why he's hired you.
Correct.
And I always say in my any of my meetings with my employees that if clients knows everything, then he doesn't need you. So you have to have a solution for him, which I think as you rightly said, I'm still the same. Yeah. I still give 100% to my work.
True.
And I'm honest to my customers. Yeah. And it's a teamwork. It's I think I am very proudly on this podcast say that I have an amazing team. Yeah. Who works with me, and they give 100% to the company. That's why we are where we are. True. I don't think so any individual can make and even the World Cup was not won by an individual. True. So anybody who wants to have his success will only happen if you have a good team. And good team comes with your perseverance and resilience. True. That's what I always believe in. And one more thing which I want to add here is that which I always tell my company also, and tell my employees that come to me with questions. And come to me with so my people, and it's almost 25 years I've been doing that while I was working for somebody, and say, guys, come to me with solutions. Don't come with problems. I know your problem. Because if you come with a solution, you by default become an entrepreneur. I don't need to make you an entrepreneur, because then you become a boss of yourself. Yeah. Because it's like a child coming to your table every time and you're solving his problem. That means you're not doing injustice to the child. True.
So boss, when I call him boss because by default you're my boss and you'll always be my boss. Talking about that if I count in your initial team, 80% of your team member now are the entrepreneurs.
Right.
You believe in making leaders.
Right.
And I've shared with my team also that you operate like Rohit Shetty. Same team, very rarely people leave you, and you operate like that with the same team. How do you feel? How do you do that, first of all? Because I learned this trick from you. In my previous company, from 17 member, I went up to 350 applying your formula only. Create a bond, create a team environment in such a way. But what is your thought and how do you manage this? Because many people can't.
I'll explain in length, of course, but to start with, I think I always teach people and then delegate the job to them and then observe them. That's what my always been a mantra from day one. I think, so I believe, that if I teach you, you will, if you are a good learner, you will pick up very fast, I'm sure, right? And you have to be a hardworking guy within yourself. You have to give 100% of your job. Yeah. And so what I do is I teach you, then I delegate you. I'll say, come to my, I still do that same thing. I call my people and say, hey guy, you are going for this group, and you make sure you handle this group, nobody else. So when they're handling the group, so when you delegate a job to somebody, he will become an entrepreneur on his own. He'll say, oh wow, I'm given an opportunity. Like
ownership.
I still, there are people who have working with me, and they did not have the passport.
Correct.
And they joined my organization, and when they joined ICE, they had no clue about what was even Kathmandu. Forget about going to Europe. So I still keep the same thing what I do. I call you guys inside and say, hey, you are going for this group. He said, sir, I have not done this ever. I said, okay, fair enough. I'm going to be a teacher. I'm delegating this job, and I'm going to observe you. Because if I don't see, initially when I used to hire people, and until now I would say, I always hire people who are not too much into the industry. Because what happens when you bring in, it's like a driver driving a car, and tell him, can you drive a car of Ferrari? He says, yeah, but he'll make an accident, because then he knows that becomes your overconfidence.
Correct.
I'm sorry to use this, but because that becomes my overconfidence, because it applies on me also. If I had to do cooking at home, I cannot become I cannot be my family actually. I cannot cook because because I know how to cook an omelette. So I say I can do I can make anything. So I'll make a mistake. So first of all, you have to make sure, you have to understand that so I read people very fast. Fortunately, God, as I said earlier, why I joined this industry, because it has a destiny had to give me.
आपको मालूम है कि कौन सा काम किसको देना है.
मुझे पता है कोई, और मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि 10 में से 8 बार ही ठीक जाता हूँ, 2 बार गलत भी जाता हूँ, ऐसा नहीं. And I have to, because if I don't do wrong things, I'll become a god. So, but I'm happy in telling you that no, I give opportunities to my people, and I give them, always tell them, I said, make mistakes. I call them.
But don't repeat the same mistake.
Yes,
this is what you
should not regret. Then you will regret. I made a mistake. And I tell them, I said, you go and do mistakes. Because if you don't make mistakes, that means you're not doing a job. Because, which I always say, जो लोग घोड़े बैठते नहीं है ना, जो घोड़े बैठना सीखते नहीं है, वो गिरते भी नहीं है ना, तो आप गिरो. Because you tried, riding horse.
Correct.
So give your 100% to your work. And if you make mistake, I'm standing next to you. I'll standing behind you. I'll push you. I'll pull you out of the problems. But I want you to make mistakes. And I always tell them, I said, if you are clear about that, you want to do this, and I'm 100%, because why did you, first of all, the question again come back, why do you want to join the industry? Because not many, honestly, I know that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of our partners, like entrepreneurs like me, who are very senior to me, who are like me, many of them don't give the opportunities to people, believing that ye galti kar dega, right? So galti karne do na. अगर ऐसा नहीं होता तो हम भी नहीं बैठे होते ना दोनों.
Obviously,
we would not have been sitting here. Correct. Somebody gave us an opportunity. Of course, we gave 100%. Everybody will give 100%. Somebody gives 200% also, which I always tell them: don't give 200%. Don't give 100%. Just give me 90%. 10% I'll pull you out. So that's what the mantra and success of ICE has been. And I, last but not the least, be a responsible guy. Be an honest guy. Always be ahead of the market. That's it.
Good. So, and same goes for in terms of clients also, boss, because MICE is all about relationship, and I have seen you cracking a deal over a breakfast, samosa khilaya, or client se bonding बनाई, and I've seen you doing that magic. So how do you maintain a relationship with the client and retaining, because आप धंधे की बात तो करते नहीं हो, है ना? तो ऐसा कैसा मतलब होता है कि बंदा आता है, नाश्ता करता है, and many big deals, you have cracked it in front of me, I've seen, learned. तो वो कैसे हो पाता है?
On the lighter side, I would say many people want to listen to this.
ट्रिक एक तो बनता है.
देखो आज आप एक मानोगे ना एक बात, आज भी मैं डील क्रैक करने लगा, आपके लिए भटूरे छोले लेके आया
एकदम, वो भी 20 साल पहले, मतलब जो होता था सेम जगह से.
And I wasn't dot on time.
Dot on time. Before time. Yeah. And guys, just for your knowledge, we're shooting this podcast around 8 o'clock in the morning, as usual, because he's a morning person. And the reason being that from 10 o'clock, the clients will start calling. So that's why we're shooting this early morning. Yes. So this is the planning which I want to know कि ये relationship कैसे होता है, मतलब what's the formula?
देखो मैंने एक बात बोलूं आपको, समोसा बहुत बड़ा काम करता है कभी कभी।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
समोसा का बेस्ट पार्ट क्या है ना, उसमें आपका समोसा नॉट मेड सो इजीली टू बी
Yeah,
ऑनेस्ट.
yeah,
I can't make it. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
about you, but
yeah,
nobody can make it.
yeah.
So why I'm getting this samosa word in between is that it's not about that samosa or that eating or the breakfast or the lunch what makes a difference. I think what client wants to listen at that point of time, you have to divert the topic, because it's like if I start speaking to him in a sir ye deal hoga, sir ye deal hoga, aisa hoga, waisa hoga, he'll say I know that you what else you can give. So while talking to him, I show my passion to him for the travel. I show them what innovation we can bring it on his table, and the compatibility, the commitment, the adaptability, and what is different that we do it for the customer. We share our experiences, and
Correct.
of course when I do a sales pitch, I know I'm talking something which I cannot do it, but when the client asks me, I'll make sure I deliver to him, because you can only sell a product, but on ground I think the biggest mantra of my selling is that I normally go with the client on a large events, because I know what I'm committed. He will ask me there, and nobody else can convince him or give him what I've been asked for. I think the mantra is you have to be with the client every time.
Correct.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know, Rajan. It's very difficult to say. What I do is I don't do anything magical.
सीक्रेट नहीं बताना चाहते तो अलग बात है, बट
सीक्रेट क्या है इसमें? I think all of the people, as you rightly said, all the people who are working with me are entrepreneurs, and I'm sure they must have their own way of selling a product.
True.
And everybody doesn't follow me. And maybe I want to understand how they do it.
But that's आप घुमा रहे हैं, ऐसा मतलब मेरे को बता दो सच में.
मैं घुमा नहीं रहा हूँ, मैं तो यही कह सकता हूँ कि I think I what do I say? I mean, I make sure what is clients need, or what client wants to understand about us, about the product, about the market, is done on table with him. Because I always say once the client gets up, he's gone. So you have to make sure that client is मैं इस पे घुमाना क्या चाहूंगा मुझे नहीं पता, पर मैं जरूर कहना चाहूंगा, जब आप बहुत ऑनेस्टी से बात करते हो ना,
वही मैं बोलने वाला था. Because I think the biggest thing which you do is you win his confidence. The product pricing doesn't come in between. आपको एक बार confidence आ गया तो आप जो बोलोगे वो मानेंगे, because they know, they trust you. That's what I feel.
That's what I'm saying ना कि which I always say, even any relationship for that matter, or any client. See, client के साथ अगर आप honest, बहुत honest रहोगे ना, तो मैं honestly बताता हूँ, out of 100 times 99 times you will win. A lot of people don't understand this. Client को घुमा दो, client को be honest to customer. We tell them, this is what the situation is. Why your cost is high, why cost is low, why you want to. So be honest. Honesty is the key to any success.
Correct.
To any business.
True.
Be honest to customer. Be clear what you're telling him. Don't lie to him. अब आपने ऐसे भी कहा आप घुमा रहे हो. अब मैं आपको घुमा इसलिए नहीं पाऊंगा क्योंकि मैं आपसे honest answer दे रहा हूँ.
Correct.
जब honest आप घुमाओगे कब? जब आपने honest answer नहीं दिया. So if you're honest to yourself, I think you will win 99% out of 100.
And talking about your experiences, boss, now this buzzword experiential mice is coming up with the events and all, and I have seen you selling experiences only back in 20 years, like so that's a buzzword now. But आपको ये experiences ideas कैसे आते हैं? मतलब how do you generate? Because I'll give you an example just for our audience. That one of the ideas which I picked you from during the conversation is that during the event of a incentive program, you made employees, the managers, serve the junior staff, and 550 people serving 500, and that lunch created an amazing synergy. ऐसे ideas आते कहाँ से? महाभोग. So ideas आते कहाँ से हैं? क्योंकि मैंने अप्लाई किया है and created a 50%, मतलब बोलते हैं ना कि X bonding create हो जाती है. तो ऐसे ideas आते कहाँ से हैं?
देखो मैं आपको इसका आंसर भी देता हूँ, but before I start this, actually, so what I do is when I go to any place, even if I go for a wedding of somebody, even if I'm going for a lunch somewhere in the hotel, if I'm going on a venue inspection. So a lot of people check the the walls, the rooms. I don't check that, to be honest. So I don't do that.
Achha.
What I do is I observe I think my biggest strength in myself
Yeah.
is my observation.
Mm.
I observe things. I
Mm.
observe what can we do here,
Mm.
and what is that somebody else is doing that on that event.
Mm.
So I change my direction towards that event particularly.
Mm.
So while if you come to me with any hotel, you have done
Yeah.
few events with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I think the largest event what we have done, we'll discuss that, of course.
In my career, huh? Till now.
Of course, I'm sure. In my career also, to be
Yeah.
honest, till
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
that has been my. My observation. I'm very observant about things.
Mm.
So I went to a place actually,
Mm.
and there was and this was not in India, by the way.
Acha.
And this was happening in one of the countries. I don't remember the country name right now, place, but I saw that they all were serving their family,
Mm.
and the entire family was sitting of 40 people, and they were serving food on table.
Mm. Okay.
And because it was father's birthday,
Okay.
so all the family members were serving their friends.
Mm. Okay.
So that's when I picked up this Mahabhog idea for the clients.
Amazing. I mean, it's something very emotional.
Yeah.
But
so what happens again? Connect beyond. I call it.
Correct.
How do you connect beyond this? You can only connect with people by giving emotions to them, nothing else.
Now, in terms of destinations, now, as you said that we have handled the biggest group, and there were very, very plus and some nightmares.
It's you who handled it, not me.
No. Boss, at the age of 26, if a person can be made a project manager for 3,000 people, then it can be only you. Nobody else in the industry then or now can make that. So let me put this forward, that you gave that opportunity. I think that made me what I am today, because that gave me an exposure. Now, when you handle such big events, there are nightmares, there are plannings which fail. When you go to a destination, what do you think, which is your nightmare which has happened to you, that you planned everything and last minute you said that, it has happened opposite to what has been done? Because why I'm asking is that people who are listening should not feel that everything happens nice and nice. Because there are plannings which goes off the radar, but you should have a plan B also, because you're a person with a plan B. I've never seen you getting hassled if a plan fails, because you always have a plan B. So what is that? First question is, what is that biggest nightmare which has happened in the event which you have planned and the planning got haywire? And what is the plan B you had to pull it off?
So firstly, why I gave you at the age of 26?
Yeah.
Answer is very simple. I saw that hunger.
Yeah. Thank you.
I saw that hunger in you to learn. The perseverance.
Yeah.
That that give me this chance, I will prove it.
Okay.
Right. And you were actually, in other words, you are actually a Madanlal of 83 World Cup. Which Kapil Dev, the Madanlal asked Kapil Dev, that give me this ball.
Yeah.
Give me in 1 over for that.
Yeah.
That's what you were actually that time. And you were still the same, I would say. But you had that hunger. You had that, that passion to do it, that. And of course, I took a chance. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
And as I said, out of 10, 8 goes your favor, 2 doesn't go.
Yeah.
But then I realized one thing, that I was backing you. You teach people, you delegate people, and you observe them.
Yeah.
So while I was delegating, while I was actually behind you, you hardly took my help in that. Of course I was helping you in different way, but I knew one thing. If this guy does actually this job, he'll become an examples for thousands of people who actually want to enter in the mice industry. So you had that zeal to do it. You had that passion to do it. As I say, you had, when you joined me also, you told me one thing which I still remember 22 years back. Sir, give me a chance. I won't let you down.
Yeah, true.
And you didn't let me down till now.
Thank you so much.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So coming back to the main point, you were asking that plan B and plan A and what went wrong. Everything went wrong in one day. And one fine day, everything went wrong.
Oh.
We had taken, and this was my first experience to go into Pakistan.
Okay.
That means the most dangerous thing I would have done in my life. So I entered to I So first of all, the experience. I take my people, my guests from Wagah border to through Wagah border enter into Pakistan, and there were different companies, like almost 5-6 companies who had taken that World Cup something match was there, cricket match, and this was a year I think 2006 or 7.
Okay.
So we took almost 400 people, and so there were box of passports.
Yeah.
So what they did, they mixed all the passports.
Oh, of different companies.
All different companies.
Oh God.
And they gave it to everybody.
Acha.
So this is where my experience counts, Saundar.
Yeah.
I helped all those 5 companies in that. And if they're watching it, they know what I'm talking about today. What I did was, I said, see, they mixed all 1,500 passports here. I will take out my passports. I know how.
Yeah.
So the guy asked me, I will not name him, but he asked me, he said, how will you take out your passports? I said, it's very simple. My passports have not sticker on the top. My sticker have on the sides.
On the passport.
Yes.
Okay.
So normally you put the sticker on the top, right?
Yeah.
I put it on the side. It's like a U shape. I put it. So for me, it will take 20 minutes to take out my passport. So I took all my 400 passports in 20 minutes.
Okay.
And the rest of the people were lying there.
Okay.
Now he said, how do I bring it out? I said, gentlemen, my friend, learn to swim here.
Correct.
Learn to swim. Trust me, go into the water, you will learn to swim. And coming back to the main point, actually. So I entered the city. I get a call from one of the agencies of Pakistan saying, you are under observation, come here. I said, okay, I'll come there. So we use the credit card of the company to book tickets and everything. Everything was going fine. Imagine 400 people. That they take all the tickets from me.
The air tickets.
Yes, all match tickets.
Match tickets.
Taken from me.
Oh.
And next day morning, 8 o'clock is the match.
Oh God.
And there was no plan A, there was no plan B. But plan C was definitely there. Plan C was very clear that I have to get these 400 people in the stadium. And this is where our jugaad word comes.
Correct.
I did my jugaad. I put everybody, all the 400 people in the stadium. They all watched the match. Except me, everybody watched the match.
Acha.
You know why? Because there's one ticket was missing.
Oh God.
So, but what I'm saying is, if you don't have that, jugaad system, if you see, first of all, you have to be observant. What happened?
Correct.
What can go wrong? I always say, when the bus is moving, the problem doesn't come then. When the bus stops, that's where the problem comes.
Correct. Presence of mind.
Yes, you have to use your presence of mind. You have to use your sixth sense. And one more experience I want to share with you, if you can continue doing this.
Sure.
I got an opportunity to work for a company in Jodhpur. I know you were aware about this or not. We put 200 tents and all.
Yeah.
You heard about it, right?
Yes.
But you were there part of it?
No, I was not there. I joined, but I was not that.
Yeah, the part of it. So we did, before Jodhpur, there's a village called Barmer. It's not that Barmer, but it's before actually Jodhpur. So near, where that happened, I was saying, whatever the place is. So the client told me, I want 200 tents to be arranged here. Done it. So people who are with me, all of the, the local agents, everybody, sir, yahan nahi ho payega. He was speaking Hindi. The guy was from English, from somewhere, I don't know, from Australia somewhere.
Okay.
I said, sir, nahi ho payega. I said, you guys hold on now. I said, it will be done, sir.
Achha.
Yeah, he said, it will be done, sir. He said, how will you do it here? I said, I need 1 month, it will be done.
Yeah.
He said, are you sure? Because this can be trouble for your company tomorrow. I said, I'll give you in writing, sir. It will be done. And believe me, Rajan, we did those tents, 200 tents in that barren land in 1 month. And that's his history.
Yeah.
And we did that. After that, we got 5 more events from that client. And those kind of events where I did one in Sri Lanka also for them. Your vision should be clear. You have to be sure what you are doing is right.
Yeah.
You have to believe in yourself. That perseverance is no substitute. And the last but not the least, the excellence.
Yeah. So in terms of destination, because you sell destination way ahead, people even think that mice can be done there. So which is your favorite destination you have done in your life where you said this is something which, I pulled it off and client enjoyed amazingly?
One word?
Yeah.
Ibiza. Ibiza, I think, has not been sold, perfectly by us as a mice operators.
Okay.
I don't know about the FITs, but MICE
Mm.
operators have never
Mm.
said.
Mm.
So why I'm saying Ibiza? So Ibiza is something which I believe, and
You've sold a lot also.
I sold a lot. I remember I almost took 25 groups
Yeah.
in 6 years.
6 years. Yeah.
And we don't means we did. It's an amazing place
Mm.
to be doing in
Mm.
MICE. Yes, I understand. Technically, a lot of
Technically.
people will say it has 3 flights to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're going to US, you have to go to
Mm.
Europe or to US to or Canada. You are there for flight
Yeah.
for 18 hours, 20 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So personally, I would say one of the destinations which I would like to resell or recreate is Ibiza.
Ibiza. And what is
And I
that?
hope Ibiza people take care of me now.
No, of course, exclusive.
Yeah.
So Ibiza guys, watch out. So and what is that one destination which you feel is was very hit 20 years before, which is dying in terms of MICE, because either it is by overselling or it is not promoted well in India.
I will not say it's not been promoted. I think it's been over promoted by India. I
Okay.
think Singapore is one destination where I feel
Mm.
because which I told Singapore tourism
Mm.
also and Singapore guys also, you know, that there should be some flexibility. They
Yeah.
see what they were doing amazingly well. I think I'm sure they must be doing now also, but not the kind of expectation they have from this market. I think one destination where I feel it's not been doing justice
Okay.
from both sides
Okay.
is Singapore.
So, boss, you have been in this industry almost 3 decades.
Yeah.
And you've seen the change in the industry also. First, how do you see the change? And what is the role of a technology in MICE industry now? If you can just tell our audience.
See, you have made me suddenly old, man. Means I didn't know that I've turned so old.
Yeah.
One good thing which has happened in technology coming in this world is last 10 years, the clients are well aware about the destinations now. You really don't need to put them, you know, in a situation where, you know, say, for example, if I give any destination today, okay, I will say Jodhpur example. So if you'll be, you know, amazed to hear that 30 years back, people were not even aware about what is, where, how far is Jodhpur, which part of the country it is. Now today, everybody knows, you know, like where the world is running, how far the destination. So technology has actually added a lot of, you know, information. There are goods and bads about everything. You know, like
overexposure.
A lot of overexposure. A lot of people say, you know, clients can book ticket online. They see the tickets online. You can't sell them. But I would say it's a healthy thing. You know, let client understand why the tickets are expensive, why tickets are cheap, why the destination is. It's important to understand that. But still, I would say even after destination, even after technology coming in, you still need face to any selling any destination.
Obviously.
The classic example is COVID.
Yeah.
You know, if you see in COVID, what happened? We all were interfacing by technology, by you know, by virtual events, by, you know, hybrids, everything. But if you see after last 2 years, suddenly everything has picked up in our industry.
True.
Why?
Very true.
Because suddenly we all have realized we all are social animals.
Yeah.
And we have to meet each other.
True.
And our industry has grown so much with the technologies that now people see on the internet everything.
Correct.
Before COVID, people used to be dependent on, you know, people. Now, because of COVID, everybody, you know, used to open their internet. Where do I go? How do what is there in the world happening?
They come prepared.
Yeah, even a small village boy, he knows how to use a cell phone.
Yeah,
which is which is the most amazing thing in the world.
I always say that, you know, tell my team also that you should know more than Google knows.
Yes.
Then only the client will trust you.
Exactly.
So that's of course, technology, you can use it, but always learn something which is beyond technology. Then only you can win over the client.
Yeah.
So on that, if you want to give 3 top tips, मतलब 3 ऐसा जुगाड़ जो MICE industry में आने के लिए चाहिए, तो what would that be? 3 things which they should learn by default, मतलब minimum चीज कि ये तो आना ही चाहिए.
Beautiful question, Sundar. I think the 3 things which tips I want to give it to the people who are coming in the industry, or I think it's communication is the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know, you have to communicate.
Clear communication.
Clear communication, absolutely. If you don't communicate well with a customer or with your colleagues, I think you have to have a good communication. And of course, second is your product knowledge. If you don't have a product knowledge, communication will take a backseat. And the third, the most important, is the culture. The cultural, you know, knowledge about what.
मतलब wherever you are operating the group,
you should have, you know, knowledge about which I told you also. You know, when I go to my observation is more important than I if you take me anywhere, if you go anywhere, for that matter, I'm telling the young boys also,
Mm.
go anywhere.
Mm.
I tell my boys in the office also, go to a hotel,
Yeah.
see how many washrooms they have.
Yeah.
For them, it was a very funny situation. But when you handle a group of 600 people and there are 5 washrooms, you can always tell the customer, sir, you already have this. So that becomes your product knowledge.
True. Okay. Because like I would call you're an encyclopedia of mice. You can keep on talking entire day also about the mice.
You know what? You are making uncomfortable now.
No. So जो है वो है ना? So have you had anything in mind? And you always, and whenever we speak, you always tell that, there has to be a systematic way of teaching mice because no institute in India has a method to teach mice. है ना, बिकॉज ऑफिस में ज्वाइन करने के बाद जो सीखना है वो तो सीखना ही है, बट सीखा सिखाया स्टूडेंट्स या फिर बंदे नहीं मिलते हैं, एंड दैट्स द ग्रज यू हैव. सो एनी प्लान्स इन फ्यूचर दैट यू वांट टू गिव अ ट्रेनिंग to the students or to anybody who wants to enter? Do you want to open an institute or any plans? है तो अभी बता दो.
Plans तो है, of course. Plan एक ही है, and that too, I actually, a lot of people say, and I also believe we have to give it back to the industry something. Yeah. And my plan is I actually want to open a small institute where, I can teach people.
Breaking news.
It's not, I don't know it's a news or not, but I would like to teach people. I want to make them like tomorrow's kids should become the future of our industry.
True.
I would definitely want to go for this.
Excellent.
I know when.
Very soon.
And because I am definitely going to work till the age of 80.
That's something you have been telling.
Yes.
And on that note, thank you so much for coming to the podcast, taking time to share your knowledge. And it's going to be on the, I would say many people will save this video and keep it as a treasure for if they want to enter into the mice, or those who are working in the mice also. Many of the tips you have given today will open their eyes, and I think it will help them to scale the business in mice also. Thank you so much once again, boss.
And thank you, Sundar. I think it was wonderful to be, meeting you again.
Thank you.
I was little, concerned about before coming at that, how will I do the podcast? I think you made this very easy for me. And thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you once again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.